Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Becky and I do all things running, mid-size, mid-20s, mid-pace. So, marathon training, it's come and gone, and I haven't posted a single YouTube video. I have posted a ton of TikToks. I also haven't even posted my half marathon that I did back in June, that I did vlog, that I will be posting eventually. I just haven't been able to edit it. Got my apple cider here because tomorrow is October 1st. Thank goodness. It's actually 75 out, so I'm kind of duping y'all. But I'm here for the fall vibes. For those of you who are new, I'm doing the Chicago Distance Series. So this series is kind of like the New York 9+1 program, but for Chicago. And in this case, you do the Shamrock Shuffle, you do the Bank of America Chicago Half Marathon. I have both of those vlogs up if you guys are interested. Not the half actual race, but the training for it. And then the marathon. And if you complete all three, this isn't wood, but I'm going to knock on it, you get into the next year Chicago Marathon. And you can do the Distance Series again, and then just keep doing it. Who's to say I'm not going to do that? I trained for the Chicago Marathon with Fleet Feet and Chicago Endurance Sports. Got into the program through the charity that I'm running with, which is the American Heart Association. They allowed certain charities to get into their training program for free because we're raising money for those charities. The training for Fleet Feet and Chicago Endurance Sports, most of the locations were in downtown. They were in South Loop, Old Town, Lincoln Park, Lincoln Square, I think. I think there was another one. And then there's Elmhurst, which is the only suburb that they have, but Elmhurst is not really close to me. So I signed up through Elmhurst, but I didn't go to a single Elmhurst run. I actually did go to Old Town a couple times because it was the same distance and the same amount of time to get there at that time in the day. So why not go to Chicago and run on the lakefront? I did do that a couple times, but then life kind of got in the way and I just had to schedule my runs in the best that I could where I live. Because I did do the 20 miler with them. That was really cool and really helpful. Weekly letters, updates. They did some tips and tricks with their emails and like strength training and fueling and all this cool stuff. So I would recommend it if you're in the Chicago area. In terms of the training structure for the Chicago Marathon, I did a 19-week program. I'm actually on week 18 right now, so I'm not actually done, but I'm in taper. So I did 4 run days a week. I did 2 to 3 days of strength training. 2 of them were Yoga 6, Yoga Sculpt, my tried and true. Could not recommend it enough. And then one of them, every now and then, I would try to go to Planet Fitness and get a lift in. Was not good about that. I have fallen off lifting. It's actually embarrassing. It's a little over 4 months of training. So June 1st was my half marathon. The next day started Chicago Marathon training. Fleet Feet knew this. I don't know why they scheduled 19 weeks right after knowing that a lot of their people did the half, but thankfully the first week was really light. I went into it very light. I am a Virgo. I am a graphic designer. I love organization and I love being creative. So I made a poster and I put it on my wall. I did the same thing with the Disney Princess Challenge, which I also have videos on that if you guys are interested on my channel. Where I made this poster and I put every single workout on there or running related workout and put the dates, put the weeks, and then I check it off with my whiteboard pens every time I accomplish it. And it kind of forces me to visualize every day in my room, look at everything that you've done, look at what you need to do, figure it out and get it done. Don't skip it. Kind of went a little viral on TikTok, so I posted it on Etsy. If you guys are interested, you can use it for like whatever program you want. You can edit it. It's a Canva doc. So beginning of summer started out humid, and that was kind of a whisper to what this entire training program has been. Humid. I did go on a week-long vacation in June. I did run through it. I try not to be a perfectionist, but let's be real. I'm a perfectionist. I want to check off everyone. That's why I made that board. I am working full-time. I committed to grad school back in February, and I started it in August. So June and July, I hadn't started it yet, but I decided that I've had this goal for about a year now. I'm not interested in becoming a personal trainer right now, but I want the education because I am very much a experience and education backed person. I will trust people who have had personal professional experience. By that I mean I did decide to get my certified nutrition coach and certified personal trainer certifications through NASM. So I really wanted to learn more about nutrition in general, just like whether you're athletic, you're not athletic, how I should be structuring my food, which that's a whole nother topic when it comes to marathon training, but kind of give a general gist and kind of what role each part of nutrition, each macro and micronutrient plays in digestion and your body and how it works. And then with personal training, the best way to effectively train. I'm not planning to become a personal trainer anytime soon, but having that knowledge is just so important if you're into fitness. And I'm probably more passionate about fitness than I thought I'd ever be growing up. I'm happy that I did it. Definitely worth it, especially in the middle of marathon training. I feel like I have more knowledge. I can always go back and resource my notes if I need to. Weeks 1 through 11 of my training plan were all territory I had covered before in half marathon training, so I wasn't really too worried about it, more so just the weather. A lot of the runs I did were on the treadmill because I didn't want to run in really, really hot and humid conditions, even in the mornings. I learned a lot about weather this summer. Dew point. Once the dew point's above like 65, it's just rough. Your body is not having a good time. And a lot of the times the dew point would be over that. So I ended up getting a fan for my treadmill at home. I'm very blessed to have one. But the thing about treadmills is that your body heat will stay around the treadmill when you're running. I've observed through my experience. So getting like a big fan to blow on my face and my body helped a ton with feeling. Like I felt great. I felt like I did back in the spring where like I was cooling myself off. However, if you're running outside, you need to learn to acclimate your body. I told myself, okay, in the fall, it's going to get cool. It's fine. I will be good. I can just do it on the treadmill and it'll be like a fall simulation and then I can go faster. Nope. Because guess what? This entire month, it has been basically the same weather as July. So no, it's not going to get cooler for fall, and I will be blessed if it gets cooler for the race day. Another thing that I kind of had to come to terms with was my pace slowed down a lot. I know with marathon training, you are supposed to slow down your pace a lot because you need to cover more of a distance, but my ego was definitely hurt a little bit. And not that, I don't mean that to say that like I think I'm better for having a faster pace, which by the way, I'm not fast, so that doesn't even make sense. But I was excited to run faster paces so it would take me less time to complete runs, especially in the heat and humidity, and also like see myself improve in one way. August, sweet August. Did want to balance my life this summer, didn't really balance my life that much. I feel like my life has kind of teeter-tottered a little bit. I started grad school, but before that, I chose to go with my friends to Lollapalooza, and we did have a blast. Definitely had the endurance for it. Thank you, marathon training. However, I don't know why I was the only one, but I came down with good old COVID. So this was when the mileage on the weekends were starting to pick up a lot. And I was really upset that weekend I was supposed to do a half marathon. Obviously, I didn't do that. If you're sick, rest. Do not push through. So I took a full week off. No workouts at all. Super sad about it. My heart rate also took 3 to 4 weeks to actually come back to its normal heart rate. It was high 4 weeks. The week after, I slowly eased back into it, and then I did end up doing my 14-miler about 2 weeks after I got COVID was the day that I did the 14-miler. I started grad school, and balancing that with also the mileage increasing to new numbers I've never seen before was a lot. Thankfully, my grad school days don't coincide with long run days. And my grad school's in person, so I do have to commute. So there is like that component, and then homework and readings. The train is a lifesaver. Hack. If you have a busy life, use the train to commute because you can use that time to study, you can use that time to work. So week 13 was my 16-miler, which I'd never ran that much before in my life. I've only ever done up to 14. So that was also my birthday week, and I got really lucky. My boss gave me off that Friday, and I used that Friday to run. Once I hit to 12, I hit a wall, though, and that is something that also happened on the 18-miler, which is interesting. probably went out too fast. I hosted a birthday 5K, which also went viral on TikTok, which is crazy. But it was really fun. I Pinterested that thing up like nothing I've ever done before. Wanted it to be pink, wanted it to be girly. Half my friends ran, half my friends walked. It was a blast. Held it in a forest preserve. It was definitely unofficial, but we had like cute little medals and everything. Loved it. Not really part of marathon training, but also kind of September. So this month I've had to learn the art of balance more than before. I think my life lesson here is you can't do everything, and it's okay to not be perfect. Showing up and doing the best you can is enough. I am in my friend's wedding, which I'm very blessed to be in her wedding. It's coming up. It's the weekend before the marathon. Thank goodness that timing worked out. Balancing all those things is not easy, full stop, especially when you have homework, lots of readings, and then a 10-page paper. I'm loving what I'm learning. I'm happy, but I'm busy. So just learning to like say no. Like I had a bachelorette in the beginning of the month, and it was like the most chill bachelorette ever. It was a blast. It was originally a one-day thing. It turned into a sleepover. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to sleep over because I had run 18 miles the next morning. I had to go home early, get a good night's sleep, and then go run 18 miles the next day. I did it. Again, weather conditions weren't great, but I pushed through. And I did it, and that's what matters. The hunger levels have been insane lately. I've been eating like a monster. And what's really weird is that, like, the days that I run the long runs, I'm okay, but then the day after and the couple days after that, I'm starving. This week, I've been tapering, starving the entire week. What do you mean I'm starving? I'm not even running that much. So the 20-miler was a couple weekends ago, and I did it with the Fleet Feet, Chicago Endurance Sports. They have a hosted one that they do, the Lakefront Trail, Northern Lakefront Trail, and we do 5 out, 5 back, 5 out, 5 back, and it is with pace groups. So again, that day, very unfavorable weather. It literally was raining up until we started at 6. My pace group started at 6 because I chose to go into a slower pace group, trying to pace myself. And even in the pace group that I chose, I still had to drop because I wasn't fast enough by mile 10. The fact that you're running with other people, everyone around you is talking and saying like, oh, this is tough, this sucks. Okay, I'm not the only one who thinks this sucks. It's not just me, I'm not in my head. Everyone thinks it sucks, we're all in it together. That's okay, we're getting through it, and we got through it. I did the 20 miles, which, by the way, the course was over 20 miles, or maybe I just zigzagged too much, I don't know. But once I hit 20 miles, I wasn't done, but I finished my watch, because I was like, I don't care, I'm going by my watch. I know that the marathon won't be like that, but this is not the marathon. Now we're in taper. I'm in week 2 out of 3 weeks of taper. I actually just did my last long run today because this weekend is the wedding. I'm not running this weekend. Now I'm going to go through some products that I tried. Some of them were good for me, some of them not so much. And these are very much dependent on your person and your experience. So starting with food, I did try Tailwind. Of course, I bought a giant bag of it. I heard about it from an influencer, and I wanted to use it because it's the mixable powders, and you can't bring liquid into the marathon. You can only bring powder because they'll dump your liquid. So I tried it on a run, and I got cramps, which means that it was too concentrated of electrolytes for me. My favorite pre-run food or pre-workout food right now, Kodiak waffles, those freezer ones. You just put them in the toaster, the vanilla circle ones. And honey. Carbs. It even has protein. There you go. Easy. It's easy on my stomach. Love it. That's literally all I've had this summer, and that's what I will be having on race day. Nerds Gummy Clusters, tried and true. This is the only food that I can stomach that doesn't give me cramps when I run. I don't know why, but love them. Honey Stinger gels. These have been my gel of choice. I really don't like the caffeinated ones, I will say. The caffeinated kiwi and strawberry made me gag. I had it Sunday and it made me gag. The regular kiwi strawberry, amazing. Gatorade, this has been my tried and true. So I buy those little bottles of Gatorade, put them in my little water bottles in my pack, and I can drink those on my runs and be fine. Gatorade Endurance is something that they had at Fleet Feet for the 20-miler. Could definitely do that. And the great thing about that is that that's what they're going to have on the course. So I'm kind of set, which is really nice. Pop-Tarts are amazing. Quick carbs because They have like 70 grams of carbs in them, a decent amount of sugar, low amount of fat and fiber, which is exactly what you want. You don't want a lot of fat or fiber before you run. So, love those. On to like physical things, fan and treadmill combo. Did I acclimate? No, I did not acclimate. So maybe that's not so good, but if you really can't run outside, fan and treadmill. Amazing. Darn Tough socks. The name stands, okay? I'm not sponsored, by the way. Love these things. I have gotten blisters on plenty of long runs. Not a single blister with the Darn Tough socks. And I wore those for my 20 miler. Not a single blister. I will be wearing them on race day. They're expensive. They are worth every penny. If you just make sure you don't lose them and keep track of them and get the cute fun colors that you love. My Nathan water bottle holder, I had a smaller one that I have used for a couple years, but I upgraded because this new one has a reflector on it. So if I am running outside and it's dark, cars will see me. And then they came with insulated water bottles. They're fine. And then mainly the waist pack is big. It can actually fit my phone. The other one couldn't, or barely could. And it can fit a bunch of gels. It can fit my hand sanitizer. It can fit lip gloss, which I know sounds crazy, but I bring lip gloss because my lips get really dry. Some lessons that I learned through this training season as a first time, hopefully soon to be marathoner. Acclimation is extremely necessary. Doesn't matter if you have a fall race. I know this because it has been hot and it is remaining hot. I don't know if it's going to be hot on race day, but I have to be okay with that and I have to be ready for that because you can't control weather. That is something out of your control. So you have to learn to suck it up. I did do towards the end. I've acclimated now, so I'll be fine. But it is important because you really think you know, and people will say, oh yeah, well, fall races, you're going to be so speedy. Yeah, that's if climate change doesn't exist. Look at what happened with Berlin. It was like 85 that day. People were dropping like flies, and I'm not going to be one of them. I will take it slow if I need to. So that's another thing. Take it slow if you need to. It's important. Try your best to focus on the controllables, which is sleep, nutrition, hydration, and your mentality. And learn to adapt and push through the uncontrollables, which is like weather, and sickness. And by that, I mean, don't push through sickness. Learn to rest, learn to adapt. I had to learn that it's okay to not be perfect. If you get sick, you're going to have to miss runs. You're not going to be able to check them off on your little board. You're going to be sad about it, but that's life. It's okay. Be okay with running slower, in the heat and humidity. It's fine. And by slower, I mean in relative to your pace, not just objectively, because everyone's pace is different. You're still out there getting it done, and that's all that matters. Hunger is no joke with these longer runs. Make sure that your fridge is prepped and you have some ideas of what you want to do carb-wise, protein-wise. And make sure that you eat whole proteins. Whole proteins will leave you fuller longer. I'm even learning this with grad school. I'm starving every night at grad school. I try to eat as much as I can. I've been eating a lot of snacky foods, and they've been satiating for about a couple hours, and then I get starving again, and I'm learning that I need to have more complex carbs and whole proteins. Complete protein. Sometimes the merch is going to suck. The official merch. This is a topic of contention with the Chicago Marathon 2025. The merch is interesting. My favorite thing to say is their sweatshirt looks like my 8th grade DC trip sweatshirt. Literally the same thing. And the price tag is a lot more than what I probably paid for. And that's not because of inflation. Their graphic design for this one, I mean, like, it's a world major, so I don't understand why. But I still ended up buying stuff anyway at the Nike store because I can't help myself. It's my first marathon. I'm going to do it. It's Nike. They're like a household brand. I don't understand why. I could go into a rant. Anyway, it's an opportunity for you to either design your own stuff like I did. So if you're interested, check out my Etsy or look for other people's designs. I designed my own shirt and bought it. And I'll be on the lookout for brand activations next week. Write mantras on your hand or put them on your person somehow when you're running a long run. That is a huge one. If you can listen to it, so there's this app I just found called Rally, where if you send it to family and friends, they can record a voice memo for each mile of your race, and it'll play at each mile if you give it your location, permissions, and everything. Really cool. And then for the 20 miler, I wrote some stuff on my hand. I wrote Dig Deep. That one got me through, and Trust in Your Training. Those are two of my favorites because you put the work in, you can do it. You can show up and you can get it done. And Dig Deep is like, basically push through. Like, don't be a baby. Dig deep. It's inside of you. You know it's inside of you. Dig deep and find it and use it. And finally, you are strong and you are capable. If you're looking into getting into marathon training, I would say the best advice that I personally found was through the Runners Without Limits podcast, which is an older podcast. It's no longer around. I mean, the older episodes are around. You can find it on Spotify. But it's a podcast by two female runners who do Run Disney. I'm glad I listened to her in the very beginning. So if you're in the beginning of your training journey and you want to run a marathon, listen. Don't skip every other race distance and run a marathon. Respect each distance. Truly live in each distance. Do a 5K. Train for a 5K. Prep for it. Get it done. Be proud of yourself. Then move on to a couple 10Ks. Get those done. It's important for you to conquer each one. Marathons look really appealing, but take time. I remember Heather from the podcast said it might take you a couple years to get to a marathon, but that just means you're really building up to it. Your body's going to be ready. You're going to be ready. And here I am. I started running 3 years ago. 3 years later, running my first marathon. It's going to keep running in your life for a while, and I think my goal is to keep running in my life for my life, whether it be a 5K, less than a 5K, half marathon. I don't know how this marathon's going to go. I think it's going to go well. I hope it's going to go well. My goals for this marathon have kind of entirely shifted. When I started, I wanted to do sub 4:30. Right now, I want to do 4:45 if I'm lucky, probably sub 5. Just because you don't know how it's going to go until you get the miles under your belt. And race day can be just a giant question mark with weather and conditions and your personal conditions and everything. But I think this is something that a lot of people see and they just want to do it because they see other people do it. It's a good motivator, but the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to be really strategic and smart and slowly build your way up. It got really dark. If you got it this far, thank you, and please comment a red heart so I know you watched this far. I appreciate all of you and your patience with me because I haven't posted in months, and I will see you guys soon because the expo's coming up in about a week.